friends, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Talks on Homeopathy. In this video, I am going to discuss regarding aphorism number 9 to 17 of Organon of Medicine, which relates to a very vital topic of homeopathy, which is vital force. And this vital force, the name has been changed by Master Hahnemann in 6th edition in Vital Principle. So in aphorism number 9, he stated like that in the healthy condition of man, the spiritual force, the dynamics that animates the material body, rules with unbounded sway and retains all the parts of the organism in admirable, harmonious, vital operations as regards both sensation and functions, so that our indwelling reason gifted mind can freely employ this living healthy instrument for the higher purpose of our existence. So, what is going to happen, or what are the different works that vital force possess during the normal healthy state? That it animates the vital body, it maintains the admirable harmonious functions of the body, and all the operations of organ system or parts to maintain the normal sensation and functions, and the higher purpose or the existence is to be fulfilled. So here the qualities of vital force stated are spiritual. Spiritual means it is not having any material form. You cannot see with your eyes, you cannot touch with your hands, you cannot have any material proof or evidence of that vital force, but still it is an energy, it is a dynamic energy. So you can just feel that particular energy by its work only or by its repercussions. It is autocratic, means it is a self-generated and self-destroyed. No one can do anything. It is a self-generated force which comes from certain aspects, and it is going to fulfill or opt its duties. Automatic is not any under control of anything. It is unbounded sway, not having any boundaries. It is always working on its own without having any upper force or without having any over force, and keeps all parts and body in a harmonious condition. The purpose is that indwelling reason gifted mind can freely employ the living handly instrument for the higher purpose of existence. So, by making everything in a harmonious way, the purpose is that dwelling reason gifted mind and the living healthy instrument, means mind and body has to be kept in a balance, and the purpose of life has to be fulfilled without any disturbance. So in aphorism number 10, the material organism without the vital force is capable of no sensation, no function, no self-preservation. It derives all sensation and performs all functions of life solely by means of immaterial being, vital force, which animates the material organism in health and also in the disease. So what happens when you just imagine a body or a material organism without vital force? That there are no sensations, there are no functions, no preservation, no self generation, nothing you are going to observe, and you are just going to have a only material body without any kind of dynamic energy. So without vital force, the body is going to be labeled as a dead. It is just a material body. It is not having function, not having sensation, not having any kind of relationship, external world. The only thing is, it is a constituent of a different chemical compositions, and after the vital force is going to become completely stopped, the body is going to become decayed, degenerated, and going to be mixed with its basic chemical constituents. Without vital force, no sensation, no function, no self-preservation, self-generation also. The body is dead and now only subject to the power of external physical world. It decays and again resolves into its chemical constituent. Aphorism number 11. When a person falls ill, it is only the spiritual self-acting vital force everywhere present in his organism that is primarily deranged by the dynamic influence upon it of a morbific agent inimical to life. Only the vital force deranged to such an abnormal state that can furnish the organism with its disagreeable sensation and incline it to the irregular processes which we call disease. So here he wants to state that the disease is only the first derangement of vital force. And then the vital force is going to express the abnormal sign and symptom, whichever we are going to observe on external surface or internal organ of the body. The cognizable by its effect on the organism, its morbid derangement only makes itself known by the manifestation of disease in the sensation and functions of those parts of the organism exposed to the sense of the observer and physician. That is, by morbid symptoms, and in no other way can it make itself known. So the first thing is the vital force is going to deranged by some morbific or some inimical agents. Then the vital force is going to express some abnormal sign and symptom on the surface of the body to the external world. The external sign and symptom, the abnormal manifestations are nothing but the only the language of internal deranged vital force, and one have to observe those sign and symptoms, or those all sign and symptoms are being observed by the patient or physician. So vital force in disease is it produces the abnormal sign and symptom. The initial phase the vital force tries to fight against the disease, but sometimes it is not uh, always having some fulfillment that the vital force is going to fight against disease and remove the disease. The vital force is going to become deranged. After getting deranged, to save the material body, it produces the abnormal sign and symptom, so one can become aware that body is getting some abnormal sign and symptom, so he has to get some kind of a treatment or some assistance to bring a normal health back. Aphorism number 12. It is the morbidly affected vital force alone produces disease, so that the morbid phenomena perceptible to our senses expresses at the same time all the internal change, that is to say, the whole morbid derangement of the internal dynamics. In a word, they reveal the whole disease. So vital force expresses the abnormal sign and symptom. That means the external sign and symptom is whole and soul of the internal derangement of a vital force. Okay, so the language of vital force is a sign and symptom. It communicates with external world, to physician, to person, to material body, with the language of sign and symptom, with abnormal manifestation. That you must uh, take a look on that particular abnormal sign and symptom, and you have to treat them. If you are not going to treat, the disease is going to become worse and worse. Consequently also, the disappearance under treatment of all morbid phenomena and of all the morbid alteration that differ from the healthy vital operation certainly affects and unnecessarily implies the restoration of the integrity of the vital force, and therefore the recovered health of the whole organism. So in opposite process, if you want to achieve a perfect health or perfect cure, you have to remove the all morbid sign and symptom from an organism. And then you are going to label that a person has achieved a perfect healthy state. So removal of symptom is a removal of disease. Morbidly deranged vital force produces morbid symptoms, expression of internal derangement. With treatment, disappearance of morbid phenomena implies that you have achieved a perfect health or perfect cure. Aphorism number 13. Therefore, disease, considered as it is by the allopaths as a thing separate from the living whole, the organism and its animating vital force, and hidden in the interior, be it of ever so subtle a character, is an absurdity that could only be imagined by minds of materialistic stamp, and has for thousands of years given to the prevailing system of medicine all those pernicious impulses that have made it a truly mischievous or non-healing art. So here he is comparing the concept of disease in modern science and concept of disease in homeopathic therapeutic system. So in homeopathy, we consider the vital force is only the reason for the disease, but in modern medicine, in allopathic science, they considered the disease is just a material derangement which is caused by materialistic causes, and once you settle down that material abnormality, you are going to remove that material cause, you are going to achieve a perfect cure. But it is not like that, and that's why we all know that Master Hahnemann was against that particular kind of a treatment, and that's why he called those treatment as a somewhat of a non-healing art. That all dynamic disease considered as materialistic derangement by modern medicine. Okay, so in modern medical science, they are not considering a disease as a part of a person. They just consider a disease as a somewhat of a external phenomena, and they have to be removed from external measurements by any kind of means. So they are not considering a person as a whole. They are just considered that they have to treat the disease and not a person. Aphorism number 14. There is in the interior of man nothing morbid that is curable, and no invisible morbid alteration that is curable, which does not make itself known to the accurately observing physician by means of morbid sign and symptom. Okay, so here he is stating that, okay, in interior of man, so in an organism, there is nothing like incurable diseases, but if they are only be produced by a dynamic derangement of vital force. So we are not talking of some surgical diseases. We are not talking of some non uh, chronic diseases. We are not talking of some iatrogenic or pseudo-chronic or some false diseases. We are only talking of if a person is falling ill with a dynamic derangement, there is nothing to be uncured in those persons. You can definitely cure a dynamic derangement, and it is also like there is no invisible disease in any man, means every disease is going to have a external sign and symptoms, definitely on a mental level or a physical level. Okay, once you accurately observe those signs and symptoms and you form a totality, then you are going to achieve a perfect treatment or a perfect cure according to Master Hahnemann. So everything which has external manifestation can be cured by medicine. Nothing is invisible to accurate observer of healing art, and no disease has a silent phenomenon. So many a times during case taking we are facing this problem that patient is not having any abnormal sensation, the disease has just started like anything, and now the patient is suffering. So here the two part is there which is having some fallacy. The first, the patient is not having that much knowledge or not observed that phenomena very well. Patient may don't want to reveal everything to a physician, or on another part the physician is not ready to accept those kind of changes, and he is not having knowledge how to observe those phenomena. So once we are going to remove these fallacies, we will get a true picture of the disease, and we can treat every dynamic deranged diseases. Aphorism number 15. The affection of the morbidly deranged, spirit-like, dynamic vital force that animates our body in the invisible interior, and the totality of the outwardly cognizable symptom produced by it in the organism and representing the existing malady constitute a whole. They are one and the same. Means the morbidly deranged vital force is equivalent to external manifestations or external abnormal morbific manifestations. Once you have gathered every information of abnormal sign and symptoms of a person, that is equivalent to internal derangement of vital force. So both are same, because the vital force is communicating in the language of disease, in the language of sign and symptom, and once you have gathered every abnormal phenomena, you have created a complete picture of internal deranged vital force. Okay, so it is not a portrait of the disease. So we are forming a portrait of a internal deranged vital force, and that's why we are considering every minute details whenever we are taking a case, or whenever we are making a totality. So we consider the mental aspect, we consider physical aspect, we consider every aspect apart from disease also, and that's why we are supposed to considering that those things, that to make a complete picture of internal deranged vital force. The organism is indeed the material instrument of the life, but it is not conceivable without the animation imparted to it by the instinctively perceiving and regulating the vital force. So organism is material, we agree, but the thing which animates, the thing which generates the energy in that organism, we have to take a look on that, and the disease is only because of that particular energy. So internal derangement of vital force and external manifestation are the same entity, and the totality of outwardly reflected manifestation constitute the whole disease. Going forward to aphorism number 16, our vital force as a spirit-like dynamics cannot be attacked and affected by injurious influence on the healthy organism caused by the external inimical forces that disturb the harmonious play of life, otherwise than in a spirit-like way. And in like manner, all such morbid derangements cannot be removed from it by the physician in any other way than by the spirit like alterative powers of the serviceable medicine acting upon our spirit like vital force, which perceives them through the medium of sentient faculty of the nerves everywhere present in the organism, so that it is only by their dynamic action on the vital force that remedies and vital harmony after the changes in the health of the patient cognizable by our senses, means totality of the symptoms, have revealed the dynamic disease to the careful observing and investigating physician as fully as was requisite in order to enable him to cure it. So here he wants to say that, okay, as the vital energy is going to be deranged in a healthy state, so if you want to treat those diseased state, those organism, you have to treat the vital force and nothing else. The vital force is going to be treated by our homeopathic medicine, but the question here comes how our medicine works. So medicine works on the basis of our one particular uh, kind of a process is there, that we are applying a dynamic medicine. We are preparing a medicines with the process of dynamization. We are generating their potentized power. We are potentizing them with our different methods of our homeopathic pharmacy, And then the medicine works on vital force. Vital force senses the action of medicine through a action of sentient nerves which are present throughout the body. Okay, and then the medicines are working on the vital force, and the vital force rejuvenates again, and it manages the disease and it brings back the cure. How the medicine is working, how homeopathic cure is effected, that we can discuss in aphorism number 29 and 148. So we will definitely discuss. But the role of vital force is to take up the action of medicine, and how it is taking that action, how the medicine are working, that through the sentient nerves, the vital force sensing the power of medicines. So as disease is dynamic, medicine has to be dynamic in nature. It can't be removed by mechanical ways. The dynamic medicines works through sentient faculty of nerves. Aphorism number 17. Now as in the cure effected by the removal of the whole of the perceptible sign and symptoms of the disease and internal alteration of the vital force which the disease is due, consequently the whole of disease is at the same time removed. So once you have removed the totality of symptom, it means the whole disease has been removed and the vital force has been rejuvenated and the organism has achieved a perfect health. The whole of the symptom in order at the same time to abrogate and annihilate the internal change, that is to say, the morbid derangement of vital force. Consequently, the totality of the disease itself. But when the disease is annihilated, the health is restored, and this is the highest, the sole aim of physician who knows the true object, his mission, which consists not in learning, sounding, prating, but in giving aid to the sick. So here he stated that once you have formed the totality of symptom, you have understood the derangement of vital force, you are giving a medicine, that medicine works on a vital force takes some energy from medicines and rejuvenates itself. The whole totality has been removed, and when the totality is removed, the health is going to become again a normal level as it is on a previous way, as the vital force has again started its own work, like normal sensation, normal functions, normal regenerations, normal preservation of all the cells and organs, and that is you are uh, making a perfect cure, you are making a perfect healthy organism again on its track. So this is the sole objective or sole aim or sole mission of the physician, to bring back the restoration of health. It is not just the removal of one symptom or few symptoms. It is not just to removal of some organ. It is not just to removal of some tissue or some bad uh, organism, but you have to bring the previous state of health in a person after your perfect cure. Totality of disease is a disease itself. Physician has to remove whole totality of symptom to remove internal disease. This is the most important part. You have to remove the every abnormal feelings or abnormal sign and symptom. Patient is giving you a 10 different symptoms, and if you are removing 9 and one is going to remain over there, it is not a perfect cure. Your mission is still not over. You are just palliating a particular disease. Highest sole aim of physician to restore the previous version of health. The previous version is the person, whatever the state of health was there, you have to bring it back. You cannot give us some artificial changes in a body structure or in a cells. You cannot make them that lie or live with somewhat of a sacrificed organ or sacrificed tissues or cells. You cannot give that kind of things, that it is not called as a proper cure. Okay, and this is only we are discussing for a dynamic diseases, not any kind of external surgical diseases or some pseudo surgical or some non surgical diseases. Okay, not pseudo surgical but true surgical. The diseases which are having external injurious factors like fractures or some external traumas and all. Okay, we are also not discussing about diseases which are arise from a faulty lifestyle and some pseudo chronic diseases which are considered or which are having some artificial factors in development of the diseases. Okay, those who are having maintaining disease, so we are not talking of all that, we are only talking of a true dynamic diseases, either it is acute or chronic. Lastly, the mission of physician is to cure, not to just making a learned or sounding a prating is a foolish talks. So physician is not to there to just talk or just to give a hypothesis. He has to work to bring a perfect healthy state in a diseased individual. So this is all for the aphorisms 9 to 17. It is just a superficial brief discussion. If you have any queries, you can write down in comments. We will definitely have some separate videos on those queries or confusions. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much. Take care.